So we have good news and we have bad news. The good news, the board backed us and we've spent £50 million on transfers. Also, if you didn't hang around until the very, very end of the last episode, you may not be aware that we qualified for the Champions League again. The bad news, pre-season's been awful, we can't score any goals, and we have to play Juventus on the first day of the season. Welcome to Project Palermo. It's your old mate DP from the DP Dome, and we have two decent-sized games for you to kick off the new season in Serie A and commence our new Champions League campaign, which is very exciting. We snuck through thanks to coefficients, which is brilliant. So we play Juventus on the first day of the season, followed up by Frosinone, who have been a bit of a bogey team for us, on and off. Very strange. You can see here in pre-season, we did all right in the first game, 3-2 over Sheffield United. That was fun. Lavia, Macme and Ulic scoring. That was awesome. We lost 1-0 to Man City, which wasn't bad because they were playing Erling Haaland, whoever he is, up front, and some guy named Phil Foden had a good game too. Then we played Al Ahly and they smashed us 4-0, and then we laboured to a 0-0 draw against Galatasaray, which was painful. Transfers-wise, there's been a bit of business going on. If you go towards the end of last season, you can see a whole bunch of players have left. Some of them you know about. Alessio Bataro, I think, went towards the end of last season. We sent out Chiavi and Ulic on loan, I think, unless that was all last season. But transfers out. Nderi Adopo has left the club. He was on the decline. We got £2.5 million for him. And his average rating wasn't great. He was a good servant. He was good in the air, but just wasn't going to use him. So he's moved on. We got a huge offer for Ranocchia, who was also somewhat on the decline. I felt like we could upgrade. So one of the Saudi clubs, Al Ahly, or Shabab Al Ahly, not the team that smashed us in pre-season, came in, offered us almost £16 million, and I bit their arm off. I said, thank you very much. I will take your money. And then Macme, our young winger, our Thai winger, Arsenal came in for him and triggered his release clause for almost or just over £10 million, and then offered a loan back. So we don't have to pay his wages anymore, and we got £10 million for him. That was awesome. We bought him for $1 million, so we're making a tidy profit, and we've got a free player for the season. And then Sam Dahl, who was the big hope at left back and never really panned out, he's gone off to Modena, making his loan move permanent. So last season, in total, you can see here, 32.5 million spent, £80 million in. That was tidy. We've gone the other way this summer. So almost £50 million spent and £20 million bought in. So you can see here, Di Gianni, Vasic, Segre, all left on free transfers. They have left the club. Vasic, who popped up with some important goals for us over the years, been here for a while, 2.6 million. We've taken a loss. Again, important goals, but just wasn't getting any game time. And again, wasn't going to get any better. So off he pops. Segre had that horrible injury last season. He's 32 years old now. Again, wasn't going to use him. He has gone off to Saudi Arabia as well on a free transfer, and I hope he enjoys his big payday there. Falk van Beers has left, the young defender that I bought for a pittance. We got him in on a free, actually, and then Manchester United came in and offered me £7 million for him. I said yes. No loan back for him, which is a bit of a shame. I had high hopes. He's got huge potential, but he'll definitely fulfill it at United, or he'll go out on loan for a few years and end up at a championship club. Who knows? Kasper Urbanski has left. We've got £5 million for him, for a player who was very much a bit part of the squad last season. 22 appearances, but more than half of those off the bench. And I think £2 million profit. Good piece of business there. Evandro cracked it because we didn't get over the line with playing him as an advanced forward. Wanted to leave the club. £3 million for him. We'd spent 250 grand. So huge profit. He's off back to Brazil. He's playing well. He scored a goal. But a 2-goal effort last season, just not good enough. He did score 4 in the Champions League, but they were against rubbish clubs. So he's gone back to Brazil, where hopefully he has a lovely time. We had big hopes for him, just never panned out. Marvin Whittier has just gone out on loan for the season. I haven't got room for him in the squad. High potential youngster. We paid £2.5 million for him. Hopefully he gets more game time, scores more goals for Spezia up here in Serie A, and comes good and we can use him next season. Pasucci, we have sold. He was never going to get any better. He went out on loan, met his loan target, promised he'd be an impact sub. Wasn't going to happen because he was like a 2-star player, as you can see there. So he's gone, and £3 million for him. Not bad. Raffaele has gone out for 120 grand, and Enrico Urbani has gone out on loan again because I don't have room for him in the squad and his potential has declined, which is a bit sad. But hopefully he goes out to Cosena and has a lovely old time. Players in, which is far more interesting. This is going to take a while, so settle in, folks. Edwin Nurkaim, you knew about because we arranged that last season. High potential youngster, can play on the left wing, can play up front. We're training him playing inside forward on this side, and he's going to be a handy-dandy player. Giorgio Cittadini we brought in from the bogey team, Frosinone, $7.5 million. He's a centre-back, can help out at right-back, important player in his prime years. He's done all right over a number of seasons at a few different clubs. Not really the level we're looking for, but he can help us out, and he's basically the best defender at the club at this point. I splashed the cash on Romeo Lavia. We had him on loan all last season. He's a 4-star player, 4.5-star potential, which I think he'll fulfill here. He's the best player we've got at the club, better even than Graziani. And for 23 million after that loan, well below his market value, and I just triggered the clause or the optional fee to bring him in. Largest transfer in the history of the club in terms of bringing them in. So that happened. This guy is just a youngster the Doffer wanted so he could fill his boots. We got a loan for this guy, Andrea Casella, who is a defensive midfielder, high potential youngster. He's on loan from Juve. We're paying a bunch of his wages, but you can see what he's done over the years. He's done all right, and so far he's looked decent despite the results. Andreas Ljungdahl is back. Remember him? He wanted to be our first choice keeper and he's not good enough. He's come in on loan from Torino for 14 grand. I believe we've got a mandatory future fee attached to that. No, we do not. So he's just here on loan for the season. Again, just moving around. We'll just borrow him when we can. Why not? Jan Binz is another youngster that we don't care about. We'll never see him play. Alberto Maiolo is a player from Bologna, high potential youngster. He's been off at the Olympics where they got smashed in the final. So silver medal for him, which is impressive. He's gone on holiday for a little bit because he picked up a knock and he needed a rest after his campaign. But he looks decent and can help us out at left back. Bit of cover, which we desperately needed. And then Patrick Berg has come in on loan. He is a 31-year-old Norwegian midfielder, 49 caps and 2 goals for Norway. I'm assuming that's Norway. Yep, there we go. He's got no pace whatsoever to speak of, but all his mentals are good. He's got yellow in the right places, and he can do a job for us. So he's come in from Atalanta for £6.5 million because we needed cover at midfield. We'll get into that further in a moment. And then in terms of further transfers, not too much going on. Palacios, we're trying to move out. We've had some offers for him for chump change, but just want him off the books because he's never going to play for us. Maximo Perrone is a player from Napoli we're trying to loan in. He is another midfielder just to help us out and give us an extra option in there because we had some injuries. And then Christian Del Grosso, we're just arranging a loan so he can go out and get some more game time under his belt and hopefully develop further so we can sell him for a bit of a profit. But I don't think he's going to be the answer here at Palermo. So as a result, this is what our squad now looks like. Some of these players moving into the first team, but we've got the Gift Sakane, who was rated the top of Next G and won a couple of awards, which was brilliant. We've got Lavia, Casella there, Cittadini in at centre-back. A lot of the youngsters knocking around. Patrick Berg has been injured, but he's back in training now. And here's Otto Graziani, finally back fit, fulfilling his potential. Great in the air, looking all good. Hasn't super declined following the lengthy layoff with that broken ankle, which was awful. And we're not playing with an attacking midfielder, so we're training him to play centrally in midfield to help us out. He's not happy about it. He's not happy about playing out of position, but he's going to do it, and it's going to be great. The tactic, we're sticking with this one because it works so well, but we've been struggling for goals. So I've dropped Tammy Abraham back to being a deep-lying forward. Also, this guy, Schiavi, we'll have a quick look at him. Decent potential. He's helping us out in midfield because of those injuries and just wanting to get players in who have decent enough potential. Trying to leverage the youth a bit more. I'm keeping him around. I'm not beating them off the way we have in the past. Ulanov survived the cull. We've got Ulic here, who is going to be one of our backup strikers. We've got Nokaim who can play up there as well. Graziani can do that in a pinch. This guy, Luigi Montano, again, defensive midfielder, can help out at right back. And he's just here to help make up numbers and jump on the pitch as required. Mark and Dali's still here. Chimo Uphoff has really good potential and can help out at centre back, left back, and in the midfield, again, in a pinch. So we're keeping him around. Why not? And that's basically all the news, I think. Bit disappointed for Alvaro Lopez picking up a knock, but he'll be back fit sooner rather than later. Sorry, it was Lorenzo Guerreri who was at the Olympics. We brought him in last season, £25 million of value. He went on a holiday because he was exhausted. 2 goals at the Olympic Games from right back or centre back, wherever he was playing, an average rating of a 7.43. So he had a lovely time. That is a whole lot of talking. Our dynamics are decent, but those results in pre-season haven't helped. Financials are great. 49 million quid in the bank. We're over the wage budget. We'll sort that out once those transfers are finalised and the last few pieces of the puzzle arrive, and that budget will disappear. But let's get into a game. I've done a lot of talking. It's all very boring. How long has that taken me? 10 minutes of yapping about transfers. Worth it though, because we've got some good players in. And this is the team we're going to go with for the first match of the season against Juventus. So Falcone in goal, Gallo, Mature, Cittadini, Ratnik at right back, Casella, Schiavi and Lavia make up our midfield 3. Sakane and Chahuna on the right-hand side behind a fit and firing Sammy Abraham. Hopefully we can get a goal out of him and it will be awesome. I've got no idea what to expect from this squad because that pre-season form has just been dreadful. But they were tough games. It was a big ask. We've aimed high and we've paid for our hubris a little bit, but it's going to be fine. We do owe Juventus after what happened in our last match. I'm assuming we lost. We did at the end of last season, didn't we? Yeah. I keep thinking we played Juventus in the Coppa Italia final, which we won, but we didn't. We played AC Milan. They've got some really good players, haven't they? Yes, that's a potential issue. But we've got some good players too, high talented youngsters. We're going with the youth, and we've got a couple of old men knocking around the place now too. So we'll see how we go. But here we are, kicking off our third now Serie A campaign, unless I'm horribly mistaken. Pretty sure it's 3 seasons. Correct me if I'm wrong, down in the comments. And let me know what you think of the transfers. You'll get to meet more and see these guys in action as the season goes on. You'll probably meet Berg in this game. You'll be able to have a look at Graziani trying to learn how to play midfield. It's all very exciting. And that was a dangerous situation. We've cleared the danger. So less dangerous. We're just going to drop back to positive because this is Juventus and we're away from home. So I'd rather be a little bit more careful. Here's Lavia, the £23 million man, biggest transfer in the history of the club, which is a bit crazy, but he was really good for us last season. I wanted to keep him. The loan was going to be more expensive with a mandatory future fee of, I think, 40 million is what Chelsea wanted. And I don't even know why I was even pondering that. So, especially while I should say, we still had the option of the optional future fee on his original loan agreement. So I just treated that. It was heaps cheaper. I say heaps cheaper. It was still £23 million. It's a lot of money. Here's Schiavi now, the youngster, trying to burn down the right wing. He's fouled there, surely. Send him off, referee. Locatelli's a monster. It was a good run. We have not had a shot on goal at this point in the game, and we're 26 minutes in. That is not like us, and this was what I was seeing through pre-season. I actually played and managed those pre-season games offline. That was a good tackle from Ratnik, but it only bought us a little bit of time. I'm going to berate there because we should not have left that guy on his own in the box. That's poor. Just lack of awareness, lack of vision. It's going to take some time, as usual, for the new players to bed in. But we haven't done as many transfers this season as we did last season. I don't think so. The squad's less unsettled, and hopefully that pays dividends in the longer term, and we can right the ship. But this isn't ideal. We're just turning the ball over needlessly, very, very quickly, and we're failing to win it back. Big ball over the top, and that's just way too easy. That was just poor. He's responsible for that. It has to be Shiabi who's made that pass, and we've been punished for it. Was it? That was Lavia. Where's that down here? June. You can't leave. Why is Turam unmarked in the box? That makes no sense. Berate them again. It was just poor. Very, very poor. And we're still yet to have a shot. We're going attacking because we have to. Sakane's not showing up. He's on the 6.4. And we're not getting any service up to Tammy Abraham. This is a problem. Been terrible. Not happy with your defensive work. Not happy with your playmaking. And you've not been good enough in front of goal. Sort your lives out, gentlemen. You're better than this. I'm sure we've drawn against Juventus at times. This is just not good. We're going to turn off this and this because it's not working. I don't even know why I leave them in the tactic, because I always end up turning them off. And then we start getting stuff done. But we're not getting anything done as it stands today. Look at that. We've still not had a shot. We're 60 minutes into this game. Something's got to give. Right. Gratiani's coming on. Can't play midfield. So that's just a brilliant move right there. Patrick Berg's also going to come on for Kasea. Let's have a look at what else we've got. Chihuahua's not showing up, so Macme's going to come on that side. The gift has picked up a knock, which we haven't had a notification about. So Nurakeem's going to come on for him. You don't want to be an inside forward. Well, you're going to, because we're training you to do it. And defense-wise, Gallo is stinking up the joints. I'm going to push Maturo out to the left. And we'll bring on Mark and Dali to play there. And then just do that, I guess. That's a whole bunch of changes in a very short space of time. Continuing on. I'm going to demand more. Because I want more. This is just terrible. Hey, we've had a shot. Look at that. And an attacking highlight for us, maybe. Unless we're just going to uselessly turn the ball over, which is exactly what we've done. They're just flooding forward. They've got numbers everywhere. And this hasn't gone well, has it? Just absolutely ruined us there. I can't watch the replay of this. I just can't do it. Ugh. One shot. Decent XG for it, but far out. Let's drop it to balance and try and stop the bleeding, I guess. Here's Graziani getting stuff done. Oh, it's so good seeing him back in action. He's only been back for, I think, the last 2 pre-season games and played about 40 minutes of football. And I'm being very, very careful with him because I do not want to break him again. Here's Tammy Abraham. Shoots and scores. Tammy Abraham on the score sheet. First goal of the season. That's what we want to see. We need more of that from him this year. Very disappointed with his contributions last season. He spent most of it injured, but really good work there as a deep line forward, a bit more defensively minded, putting pressure on the defence, and that's why, because it makes a big, big difference. And he also had support there from Nurakeem, which was nice, running in at the far post as an option. He was never going to make a pass to him, but nice to see a bit of vision, a bit of oomph, a bit of just something. I need a midfielder. Uphoff can just come. No, I've got no subs left. Forget that. That never happened. You didn't see anything. Right. We got a goal, so that's something. Let's encourage the team for the last 40 seconds or whatever of the game. Not the start we were looking for. Not the start at all. Hopefully, we can change our fortunes. Defenders, I'm not happy. Midfielders, not happy. Attackers, you've not been good enough in front of goal. We need more out of those boys than we got in that game. So I will skip ahead and we'll be back to have a look at how we go against Frosinone. See you in a second. Nothing at all has happened, but we're ready for the game against Palermo. We did have a mini player revolt, not a revolt. I think the dynamics are still okay. Yeah, just some players upset with training. They wanted to do more quickness. So we've done that, and they seem happy about it. So that's fine. We're in 16th place with -2 goal difference without scoring a point, which is nice. But we need a win. We need to get things back on track after a disappointing first appearance. It was against Juventus, so it's kind of to be expected. But here's the squad we're putting out there. Falcone in goal, Gallo, Maturo, Mercandale gets a nod at centre back, and Guerreri is back in. He's back from holiday. He'll be playing at right back. Berg gets his first start for the club in competitive football as defensive midfielder, and then Casella and Lavia as our central midfield pair. Sakane, Chauna, and Abraham up front, forming the attack. And let's see how we go. We need a better result. We need the boys to play better and do more football type things, and hopefully we can get through this game quickly, or this is going to be a really long episode. I do expect to see a much better performance from the boys tonight. We're just going to do the player groups because I like to click on those things. And here we are back in our sun-kissed stadium to play Frosinone, who wear yellow and blue, and we wear our sexy pink. Here's the throw-in. Gallo was looking the wrong way. Plays it in, looking for Sakane. He's fouled there in the area, and I think we're going to get a penalty in the first 3 minutes of this match, which would be lovely, assuming we can convert it. We haven't had the best of times from the penalty spot. It's not a pen, apparently. It's going to be a free kick to them, which seems dumb. If they're blowing the whistle for a foul and not giving a penalty, then it should really be a free kick, right? Interesting. Let's encourage the boys. Frosinone have got more of the football, which makes sense because they've got all of their players pretty much in the back line. But Gallo's burst forward, and on that, Berg plays it through to Sakane. Runs across the top of the area. Chauna in the penalty box, plays it across to Casella, who fires and scores. That's a goal from midfield, ladies and gentlemen. And Casella, the loanee, doing really well and applying a good finish. And that's what I want to see from Tiana once he's fully trained in midfield. He'll be starting in that position because I think he's going to be brilliant as the central midfielder. As mentioned in the last game against Juventus, given his huge injury layoff, plus a full season before that of not playing any football because of registration and ridiculousness, we're nursing him back, and I'm being very, very careful. But we'll get him into the side as he learns that position, and it'll be fine. And he is learning it. He's gone from having nothing on the little picture showing what positions he can play. He's got a red dot there, so he's ineffective as a central mid. But he's going to get better because he is that good. I think, is going to be our superstar player. Sakane's already there. Like, he's a hero. He's been to World Cups. He's playing for his country. He's a very, very highly rated youngster. How we managed to secure him, I have no idea. But there's Lavia, our other midfielder. He's in. Possible offside, but the flag wasn't up, so I think we're okay. And that's going to count. It does. Goal awarded. How do we create this? So Maturo charging forward from the back line, plays it into Casella. Big cross. Lavia's there on the volley, and that's a very, very simple finish. We just outplayed Frosinone there, and the defenders had no response at all. How close was it to being offside? Both of those guys were playing along. So it's fine. 2-0 up. This is much better, and I haven't had to turn those two things off to get that. So hopefully we're at the point now where the teams we should be beating, we're going to be able to beat. Last season we saw weird results against teams well down the league table, either getting up over us or labouring to draws. That late season result against Parma was a very strange one because we should have smashed those. There's Gallo, he's in, and Gallo's scored. Everybody's scoring except for our attacking players. We've got a goal for both midfielders and now for our left-sided fullback. And we're on the attacking instruction, so it definitely works against the lesser teams here in Serie A. Lovely finish from Gallo just inside the post. And Abraham's lurking, as he should be, to do striker things to the football should the need arise. But he wasn't needed there. We're outscoring our XG, which is a bit of a problem. It's not ideal, but good at that. Frosinone haven't even had a sniff in that first half. So you just carry on doing what you're doing, gentlemen. I have no criticisms of your efforts thus far. This is marvellous. It's working. It's working. Oh my goodness. Berg over to Mr. Tuna. Back to Berg. Plays it in. Maturo's there with a header, and that's gone just wide. You'd expect him to finish that because he's been good in the air for the last few years. And we're not getting a lot of crosses in now that I've just got them playing short corners. So when those chances arise, he really needs to be on his game, which he was not. That being said, he's done fine today. Graziani's going to come on for, I think, Lavia as the attacking option there. The Gift has not had his best day, so I'd like some game time for Nurakim. Tammy's fine at the moment. Patrick Berg could do with a breather, and I'll bring Alvaro Lopez on for him as a defensive midfield option. And just to protect our players at the back, I think Ratnick can have a run at right back. We'll risk Guerreri. He's fit as a fiddle. For our final trick, Uphoff. Can Uphoff or Mayolo? Mayolo's not fully fit, so Uphoff's going to come on at left back for Gallo. It's all our changes in one go. It'll be fine. I didn't get back on the pitch, but he belongs to Arsenal now, so I'm not that fussed about ruining his career. Certainly not as concerned as I have been for the last couple of seasons that he's been knocking about the place. We're doing really well. I think we'll praise the team in a moment. Get smiles on everybody's dial. There we go. More game time into Graziani in that position, which is important. We haven't really produced anything in this second half. But here's a chance. Graziani with a free kick. And buries it. That is Otto Graziani, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what we've waited almost 2 years for. Is to see him do something awesome. And has he what? Look at that. What a free kick. And this is why I keep talking about him being the superstar. You haven't had a chance to see him in full flight. Not a lie, really. But I've seen him do that a few times in matches. And it is glorious. More of that, please. Otto Graziani. He's going to be a central midfielder on attack, and he's going to be awesome. That's an important result to right the ship, get everything back on track, and much, much better from everybody. We were dominant. We absolutely ruined them. Tammy Abraham got a 7 and didn't score, which is great. He's contributing, and that's all I want from the man. He doesn't have to score all the goals. Everything he scores is a bonus. Especially if the midfield's firing like that. Nearly all of our midfielders got on the score sheet in that game. And I'm absolutely here for it. Uphoff's made his debut, however you want to say it. It's fine by me. Grosso was spotted. Grosso keeping an eye on Mokindali, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that is all fine. We're going to go in and just give everybody who started that game a bit of a rest. Training, rest, 4 a day, lovely stuff, and that will do it there. So that leaves us in 6th place. We're already in a European spot, which is glorious. We're going to win the league. We're not going to win the league, but things are looking positive. We will come back. We haven't had a Champions League draw yet, so I don't really know what's on the table. We'll come back possibly and have a look at Lazio, and we play Inter so much. It's very frustrating. We'll come back. I don't know. It'll be a surprise. What a goal from Graziani. I can't get over it. It was awesome. If you thought it was awesome, let me know how awesome down in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, share it around. The share button's good. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already so you don't miss anything great coming up. But until next time, I shall see you next time. Say hi to your mum for me and be good. If you can't be good, don't get caught.